It's been a while since I've been out in the shop. Been a little cold out here. It's gotten a little better here in the past week. Just been trying to get a few things in order here. But decided to get out of the house today to work on something that I really didn't feel like tearing out the toilet and putting the seal back in tonight. So decided to get out in the shop for a little bit instead. What I have going on here today is I got trying to find all of the pieces for my little Atlas mill, and I got most things, though I've been finding here there's I've gotten parts lists, and hopefully you can see some of that, but one of the pieces that I couldn't find when going through it was the stud that holds this gear right in here. The stud goes in, this end through here, and then there is a nut that goes on this end. So that's what I'm going to try to make here today. Shouldn't be all that difficult if I wasn't just still here learning, especially the precision part of it. But said it'll have to be in 3 pieces, or in kind of 3 distinct parts here. If you can see that, there'll have to be an end that just more or less it holds the gear on. There'll be the main part of the shaft that's 0.3750 that goes through the bushing for the gear, and then there will be a part here that goes through the hole in the housing that has to be a certain distance, and then there'll be a 5/16 18 thread here on the end to hold it in. It's really this part here that at least seems to me is going to be the most critical part. That way this shoulder here can butt up against the inside of the housing. The gear can sit in here, and then this won't be so tight that the gear can't spin. So we'll see how far I get here today. But just thought I'd try to video a little bit since I hadn't put anything up here in a while. I'll catch you guys here in a bit once I get set up. Okay, I'm just gonna go get started here. I'm using a piece of steel here that I was just using for a little just to make sure my the new threading tool holder was working. But this end here at the end has to be right around 0.8140. That'll give it enough room, and part of that will be threaded, and part of it will just be going through the hole in the casting. So I'm just going to face it off here, and then I'll get the indicator set up so that I can go in about that far. I just don't want to leave it too long, especially with the others, since I do have to get the whole piece, and it has to be able to fit into the box, at least partially sticking out through there in order to get the gear itself in. So I'm going to first use the dial calipers to put a witness mark in for the length, since the dimension isn't very critical. And then I'm just taking a 20,000th cut, and then this time a 30,000th cut to start off the turning. And then with the next part here, I'm just kind of getting down to those last real close dimensions and facing it off. That. We'll just come in here, just verify
and I'm
that.
just doing a test fit to make sure that the housing goes over the
all the way up in
over the
there.
edge of the, or over to
Shoulder might
over the
not be
part.
completely snug, and
Had
a
a
little
little
bit
bit
of
of
rock,
wiggle,
but
but overall it was pretty good.
that should be okay.
What I'm just going to do here is set up the parting blade to be able to cut and undercut for the threads I need to fit. And so I just put the blade next to the undercut, and I show here I'm using a dial indicator so I can back off the parting blade a certain distance from the shoulder that I need to for the piece to get all the way through the housing.
And we'll just take a quick look here in the machinery's handbook because I just didn't remember. That's a 5/6 thread. I just want to make sure that the undercut that I give it is deep enough here. And 0.24 versus that, so about 70, I think. So about 35. I'll start with the 35 on the side, just so I don't get too deep here. And there we go. Got our threading tool to keep you from getting. I'll have to get this here set up, and 'cause right now I have the compound at 90 degrees, so I'll have to get everything turned around and everything lined up. So I'll bring you back after I'm done with that. To line it up here, I just normally put the post against the inside of between the chucks when I can, and just line it up with the face, and then just make sure that it looks right when I bring it back out. And so what I'll have to do here now, like I said, I'm cutting a 5/16 18 thread, and I got a the jam nut to go on, so that's what I'll be cutting it down to. With a quick change, in order to cut an 18 pitch thread, I need to set this down here at B. It's down there, and B2 looks to be the right hole. So go get my thread pitch gauge. It's a little rough. It kind of looks a little bit more like it's shearing as opposed to cutting a little bit more. So I don't know if the angle is just off a little bit, or if it's just the type of steel. I don't know for sure what this stuff was, and so it could be that that it's just not as machinable as it could be. So we'll see. I'll try to get set up here for the next step. Okay, we're ready to go and do down the second step that goes inside the bushing for the gear itself. What I have set up here off camera is I got the dial set off again here, and or the dial on the magnet, and I have the I have it set currently to have the tool right at the end of the shoulder here, and then I went back in and I set the dial to be, I guess technically in 927, but I'll stop when I fed out at 127 or 127, so, or 100 out I should say. And so that means I should be going in that 827 that I need to get through the shoulder, or through the middle of the gear. And I got about 2.5 thousandths here to go. This here, and then we'll fit it up and try to put the gear on there. Okay, I had to switch here to my camcorder instead of the other camera. I forgot I didn't bring out any of the other memory cards for the other one. Well, here again, I don't remember what the number was. .378, so I got about 3 thousandths or 1.5 per side here, and probably went a little bit more than I had to, but that should give me plenty of room in there. Now what I just have to do here to finish the part off, get a little bit more, just a little bit more stuck out here. I just got to get the parting blade and just kind of part it off. Not too much of head. It has a little bit of room inside that box, so it doesn't have to be completely flush. But I'm not going to leave too much hanging out there. Maybe not even as much as this side coming up here. We'll just have to get that taken off there. I'll just grab the hacksaw here and file it up a little bit, and I'll be back. Okay, guys, I had to go to the third camera for this final here. The first one ran out of memory. Second one ran out of juice in the battery, but just kind of wanted to give you at least a little bit of an idea. I don't have the greatest lens on this. I had the lens on here just for taking some photos, which I didn't end up doing on the thing, but you can kind of hopefully everything is in the frame here. And so this is the gear that this was needed to go in. You can see here, goes in. Might be a little snug for what it should, but since it has to rotate, but I may have to work on that a little bit. We'll see. Get it started in here. So yeah. Sorry, I know I'm taking you out of frame. But sometimes my fingers don't work either. The hopefully you guys can see that there. The exposure compensation on the SLR taking video is a little bit different, but I ended up having to put the piece back in the chuck just for a couple seconds to run some emery cloth on it to get the one diameter just a little bit smaller, just to get it to be able to get a rolling fit but not have too much slop. But if you see on there, the everything kind of fits in here. I kind of wish this was a finish to the project, that way I could put it on and let you see it. But as I said, I've been just kind of trying to find the parts in the different boxes that came with the little Atlas mill that I have, that I got last fall. Was able to take apart the change-o-matic on there, take everything apart and get all the gears moving again. Starting to find different pieces to the whole thing. I don't know if everything is still there, just kind of doing a work in progress and looking at the instructions. So, but I knew I needed to make the shaft for it, so I figured I'd use that as an excuse. It's been a little bit warmer here, although was snowing a little bit earlier today, and it's blowing pretty good outside. It's at least above 30 out here in central Illinois today. So thanks for watching here, and hopefully sometime here we'll be able to get the mill up and kind of see it actually running in automatic mode. I'll talk to you guys later. I was going to show you. Yeah, it does actually spin. Yeah, it's a little bit rough. We'll have to see once I I get everything hooked up, whether that if it's actually too tight and too binding in there. Well, like I said, I won't know that till the end. I can't completely tighten down the nut here, so I may have to take off one of the washers there and just put the second jam nut on there, you know, just so it can be tight and it won't come loose, but it won't be so tight that the gears won't spin. They don't spin very fast, I don't think. Once it comes to this location, I think the change-o-matic pretty well slows down the whole mechanism between the between the spindle and the and by the time it gets out to this part here, and so this part, kind of, if you see here, is a mechanism to pull the part off. Now that's what I haven't quite figured out yet, is exactly how this part engages and disengages the feed. So I may actually still have the wrong mechanism in there. Because if you see here, it won't actually completely even disengage when it's pushed all the way in. So still trying to see it on there. I haven't actually seen the whole mechanism. So I'll find out as I get more things to get put together on it. Well, thank you.